Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and I'm going to do your September the 1st, just for today, in a meditation. So wonderful to greet September with you. Let's go ahead and get into that meditation. I hope you're doing well today. COVID has hit my home, so we are doing well. I'm still feeling very great within my spirit. My husband is struggling with COVID, and so that changes everything, right? So send out your good vibes and prayers towards him. Thank you. September 1, real value. We become able to make wise and loving decisions based on principles and ideals that have real value in our lives. Basic text, page 105. Addiction gave us a certain set of values, principles we applied in our lives. You pushed me, one of those values told us, so I pushed back hard. It's mine was another value generated by our disease. Well, okay, maybe it wasn't mine to start with, but I liked it, so I made it mine. Those values were hardly values at all, more like rationalizations. And they certainly didn't help us make wise and loving decisions. In fact, they served primarily to dig us deeper and deeper into the grave we'd already dug for ourselves. The 12 steps gives us a strong dose of real values, the kind that helps us live in harmony with ourselves and those around us. We place our faith not in ourselves, not families, not in ourselves, our families, or our communities, but in a higher power. And in doing so, we grow secure enough to be able to trust our communities, our families, and even ourselves. We learn to be honest no matter what. And we learn to refrain from doing things we might want to hide. We learn to accept responsibility for our actions. It's mine is replaced with a spirit of selflessness. These are the kind of values that help us become a responsible, productive part of the life around us. Rather than digging us deeper into a grave, these values restore us to the world of the living. Just for today, I'm grateful for the values I've developed. I'm thankful for the ability they give me to make wise, loving decisions as a responsible, productive member of my community. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you, God. Grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Real values. Yeah, I can remember having twisted values, right? Or they really weren't values. They were rationalizations, justifications, minimizations, right? There's so many terms that we could actually use for these twisted values. A lot of times we just call them survival skills. But whatever we might want to call them today in recovery, we have a better idea of what they really were, right? They were what we operated out of, what we thought we needed to operate out of, the way that we justified being able to steal, cheat, lie, lying by omission, hurt others, switch. I call it the switcheroo, right? Where you're having a conversation with someone and they're letting you know they're not okay, with what you are doing and you pull the switcheroo. Well, I wouldn't do so and so if you hadn't done such and such. Or I'm like this because of the way you raised me. Or I'm like this because of how you treat me. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't need to get high if it wasn't for what you did 50 years ago. You understand what I'm saying, right? It is a way that we play the game. And a lot of times we're not aware that it is a game that we're playing, right? That it's a twisted value or a sense of entitlement. If we really don't get to the understanding that those aren't real values until we get into recovery and someone explains to us, no, honey, that's not what you call being brutally honest, right? That's not what you call being brutally honest, right? That is called manipulation, narcissism, right? There's a whole other world of words and definitions that come to life to us now because we are actually, I want to say, more humble. We're actually more surrendered. You know, you've heard that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Here's my point. I think the teacher has always been there, right? The teacher appears because the student is in a different position now, right? The student knows that they're a student and their perspective has changed, right? Now, all of a sudden, you don't have drugs that are altering your mind and your mood. And you're like, I wonder what she means by that. She said it a million times in a meeting, but I wonder what she means by that. You're sick as your secrets. I got a whole lot of secrets. I'm pretty sick. Maybe I need to get a sponsor and start talking about some of this stuff. See, now all of a sudden, without your mind being clouded, you're in a position to consider things differently. And it requires humility. It requires surrender, a degree of trust, some degree of sanity in order to even consider that maybe the things that you were calling values weren't real values at all. And it's okay. If that's where you're at today, that's totally okay. Because I've been there. Sometimes I'm still there. Not that often, but sometimes I'm still in a position where constructive criticism is very helpful for me. It's always helpful, right? Because it's constructive, but where I actually need it. And today, when it's happening, I'm very much aware. Hey, you, Mighty Stream, you're being corrected, right? I'm very much aware that I'm being corrected, but my heart is yearning for it. I've learned, I have this one friend, and I don't know, I think she's just, I would say, a master of constructive criticism. She knows how to word and phrase things in a way that doesn't come across as haughty, but with a hint of humor in it. And I'm able to receive that very well. And my life has increased as a result of our relationship, our friendship. And so I want that for you. I want for you to know who you are and recognize when you've twisted a value to make it work for yourself and it's really not a real value. And go on to develop real values. Be grateful for the ones you have, right? And build up the ones that you need more of, right? I think that would be helpful for all of us. And it goes with our serenity, pray. God grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can. Sometimes these twisted values, they really fall in that second bracket of changing the things that we can, having the courage to do it. So pray for that. Today, I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose, walking with your real values. I'm going to have a beautiful day on purpose. I'm going to need to. This man is sick with COVID. I'm going to need to. So I will be talking to you soon. I'm going to do the other meditation, and I might go ahead and knock out a few in advance and post them for scheduled releases so that in case I get knocked down with this COVID, in case it hits me, I will already be ready for you. Okay. Have a beautiful day. Talk to you soon.